peace, quickly up, think fast. Spirit told me I needed everything for this video. I was going to watch the rest of the video, but I caught the insights. First and foremost, from this little, I'm on YouTube and this video from the side show pops up and talk about like some gene splicing or something with modifying DNA. So I'm like, oh, let me check this out, in spirit, So in the video, they're talking about last week, a researcher in China announced that he had used the gene editing technique known as CRISPR to change the DNA of human embryos created via in the vitro fertilization, and that these two embryos had been successfully implanted in their mom and developed into two baby girls that were born last month. This experiment has been universally condemned by science. And one of the aspects you could kind of see why, because all right, they say this research method or this gene modifying method has been used for a ton of research in the last few years, and it allows for scientists to delete genes. Y'all heard me right, to delete genes, turn off genes, and insert genes more easily, cheaper, and accurately. So that might be, but long story short, to just get right into it, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh shit, they bringing this up front, subconscious programming, and pipelining information. I just did the video on that, bringing this up front to kind of start to gauge how people reacting to it, like, because if everybody like, oh no, fuck that, you know what I'm saying, we ain't playing no gene spike, then they know that they can't really try no fuckery in that lane. But if everybody like, oh yeah, I like to have my gene spike, this and that, and that's why knowledge of self is so important, because if you knew that you had all the abilities, if you knew your extrasensory perception abilities, and that you had to sit down and activate them yourself, if you knew that you didn't have to deal with this bullshit, then you wouldn't even be falling for none of this bullshit. Again, so that's why some people are always trying to get you to not pay attention to history. I don't look at that and this, and because if you knew your history, you knew, again, about how the ancients always knew that we are a source, we are God on a human experience, and not no fucking humans being spiritual. Like, if you know that, then you wouldn't fall victim to them trying to push this, like, oh yeah, gene. And again, if it's illegal and this and that, then why y'all not arresting the motherfucker anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, this is banned across the world, but he did it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, this is they bringing this up front to try to kill some of the Starseeds. Some of the children that's being born right now, that's coming to help really, change what's going on this plane of existence. They trying to see how everybody feel about it. How, basically, quote unquote, how woke everybody is, But like they're gonna try to implement that, and that's why you see it's so important about us, again, not even dealing with the hospital for childbirth. There's so many things that childbirth, like the laying down is not a good way to have a baby. Being drugged up is not like our ancient indigenous ancestors and people, even not even going that far. Shit, my mama family, I'm from Opelousas, Louisiana, man. Most of my mama brothers and sisters, they was born in the crib. And ain't nothing, my uncles and aunties happen to be, just fine, I'm a beautiful young man. My mom was born, wasn't born with all that extra. Yeah, I was born with that bullshit, and my mom ended up having a C-section, so meaning the most important, and they know this is a fact, the most important moments of your subconscious programming and of your, just how I say, the way you're gonna act and interact with the world from that point on is when you're first born. So when I'm first born, I get antibiotics put in my eyes, my mom all drugged up, so I'm being handled by doctors, so I don't get to look in my mom's eye and feel that love. Like, that all count, and they know that shit. And when I say they know that shit, higher ups, the doctors who doing the shit may be a little ignorant to it, and you see how much is a hierarchy to all of this, so for the most part, we ain't gonna really just say, oh man, but now it's getting to a point though where doctors something should start to click. If they really care about people, like, it should start clicking, like, man, the shit we doing is really poisoning people more than helping, man. I need to get the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, And that's what like again, it's getting real. Like people who still gonna be playing, like people who gonna still be trying to be policemen, people who still gonna be trying to administering pharmaceuticals to people. Like they about to see in the next 2 years how how that's gonna work out for them. But again, that's a little before, like let's put it out there and see how they vibe with it. And then also though with this little thing, especially from now, this more so pointing to this sideshow YouTube channel, where they got 5 million subscribers. And you a science show, that means you do tons of research. In your tons of research, why you ain't find out about Dr. Sebi who cured AIDS and cancer and proved it in the Supreme Court? Like if you so sciencey and researchy and you finding all this information, why you didn't find that information? And this is a fact. And this is people got 5 million viewers on YouTube pushing that type of bullshit. Again, what time it is, y'all? It's time, bro. Again, it's no longer, it's getting to a point where you could almost, no longer be kind of vibing with that through ignorance. That's why it's pushing us through the gauntlet, because it don't want us spewing, ignorance by mistake, you know what I'm saying? It's like getting us straight, because it's getting to a place where, you won't be able to really say like, oh, well, yeah, I didn't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he was talking about like the latest experiment, this China scientists use CRISPR to disable a gene called CCRF in human embryos. CCRF is involved in the immune system and the HIV virus, and it exploits in order to infect human cells. Basically, a bunch of bullshit jargon about how the CRISPR. So basically, they're trying to share the CRISPR aspect in a good light. Well, you see, CRISPR was used to deactivate the CCR5 gene. And this is the gene that's affected by HIV. So you see, y'all, in order to stop HIV, we gotta be able to turn off and delete some of your genes and insert genes into you. Like, that's what they selling, Are y'all buying? Cause they definitely selling it. And again, I can't naysay or whatever if sideshow or part of any agenda or anything, but if the shoe fits, wear it. Again, as far as information, like, I do, like, I'm researching stuff like that, Again, these extensive scientists who, if they research so much, then they should know that part of intelligence, or the word intelligence, deal with intellect, logic, but also the intuitive part of our brain as well, that makes the full intelligence. So again, not saying but we see it in the face, we see what's going on. In fact, the book, and what would be a good case if they would try, so what you trying, well, go look at the book Cyclomancy too, other than Dr. Sebi's case, the book Cyclomancy, well, and then on a small level, everybody acknowledge the placebo effect, that a sugar pill could cure anything, if I get your mind to believe it. So indirectly, they, again, a little disinformation with the truth. Like, they don't want you fully tapping into that realm. Again, the slit experiment with the electrons, go look that up, at how the electrons, when they was moving through the two slits, they was coming out on the other side like waves, and they're like, well, shit, how little balls of energy coming out like waves, But then whenever they like, all right, because they wasn't viewing the experiment, they're like, we about to view it, we about to like really observe this experiment and see this shit, And then when they start watching it, now the electrons started moving, in little single balls, like not spreading out like waves, proving on a scientific level that, our mind affects matter. Our conscious mind effect, they prove that's an experiment. You can't, again, these people on the sideshow, that's what they deal with, the science of thing. Our mind could change matter. So you got that aspect. You got a Dr. Sebi who had to go to the Supreme Court in 86, 87 and prove, even got some of his children and relatives still existing to this day speaking up on it as well and still healing people. You know what I'm saying? So, again, and two, that old somewhat satanic vibe of like, try to fuck over people, and then when they catch you, you could be like, oh, I'm sorry, or oh, I didn't know, or oh, that's my ignorance, my bad, I didn't know that. Like, nah, again, accountability, it's getting stronger, So again, y'all just peeping game, peeping the little aspects. They about to start again. Just like with Hitler, is the Hitler situation, the fucking hippie movement. We about to see all these tactics again, because they, as smart as their plans have been put together, they're very repetitive though with the way they do their things. They using the same shit over and over. That's why history repeats itself. That's why all it takes is a motherfucker to remember their history. Like, oh wait, hold on. I remember last time y'all start doing this shit. Motherfuckers was, last time motherfuckers said, hear this Bible. Everybody ended up, fucking kneeling down with their ass in the air. Psst. Head in the sand. But, and a little quote for everybody, since we are these people bringing forth information and all this, and bringing forth these new books and all this, just a simple quote that everybody, I done said it before, but America is a big Skinner box. Just plain and simple. America is a big Skinner box. It's just dry quote. But for the detail of the quote, again, my video I did on dystopia about, I think the brother's name is B.F. Skinner, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, while I'm right here with my tablet, let me see, because I might have it right here. But B.F. Skinner created the Skinner box. It's a little box to, so what they do the little mouse experiments in, but that's all America, and that's what they've been trying to treat this whole planet as, their big Skinner box, trying to scientifically cut open everything and, mess over things. But here it is, with his brethren. This is one of his quotes. B.F. Skinner, American psychologist, behaviorist, author, and social philosopher. Now that we know how positive reinforcement works and why negative doesn't, we can be more deliberate and hence more successful in our cultural design. We can achieve a control under which the controlled nevertheless feel free. They are doing what they want to do, not what they are forced to do. That's the source of the tremendous power of positive reinforcement. There's no restraint and no revolt. By careful design, we control not the final behavior, but the inclination to behave, the motives, the desires, and the wishes. The curious thing is that in that case, the question of freedom never arises. This is B.F. Skinner, this is, again, they talking about, this is information about trying to fuck over everybody, and you know what I'm saying? Here it is, and everybody, and just, oh, that's some pretty cool literature. No, that's what they trying to do, you know what I'm saying? So again, creating a situation where, basically, they are doing what they want to do, not what they are forced to do. Allowing people to have the illusion of being free. So you culturally design a situation, that way, they, oh man, we think, we got cell phones, we got this, oh yeah, we free, we this. But you don't even know that them cell phones is radiating harmful brain waves, or just waves in general, that's messing up with your energy field, But yeah, in the Skinner box, the operant conditioning chamber is the true name for it. Operant, O-P-E-R-A-N-T. Operant or operant conditioning chamber, but the Skinner box. And that's all America is, they just, testing situations, seeing, again, just like the information about this, oh yeah, we just, this guy just illegal against what we all scientists agreed that we wasn't gonna do this, but this guy wasn't gonna do it, and we not gonna do nothing. We just gonna honor him and speak, indirectly, showing our true selves of like we said this shouldn't be done, but we allow for it to be done anyway. Like it's like, bro. That's it, because I want this video to be short so everybody could catch it. But that's basically it. And check out my video on dystopias to get, to see that aspect and how I dived into that. Also speaking on how they use an herb to not only, to push the agenda of demasculinity in the men, because the herb does slow down the sperm count and lowers the testosterone levels, but also just create this vibe of everybody just smoking herb and not really paying attention to what's going on. And plus, the reason why they're waiting to legalize it so they could try to throw their own pesticides and shit on it, before they give it to people, switching the pharmaceutical families and people who own those operations onto owning and operating distribution of herb. But and you don't have to believe, whatever resonates with you with what I said, take with you, whatever don't. This is higher self moving, and allowing for me to do this video. And I had higher self stop me from doing videos plenty of times where I probably was about to spew some new age movement bullshit or something like that, and it was like, wait, hold on, gotta really learn that aspect before you start speaking, But with this came through. But anyway, sharing that, just a little insight, to try to slow down the Starseeds, and then just more of that propaganda to make it, again, to give reason, like, you see, we're using this gene splicing situation to get rid of like HIV, the stuff that's plaguing your community. Like, no, what you tripping, brethren? We know that y'all been playing with this shit. Again, the book Cyclomancy has proof, again, if we was to go in the court of law, like, all right, y'all scientists saw that syphilis and dementia was both due to the thoughts, due to our mental and not due to actual disease of the body. So, why are you trying to promote these different things, But I digress. Peace. Happy now. Now to vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Peace, peace.